Hey everyone, it's Wolfgang. I want to talk about spending a lot of money for marketing. Does it make sense? There's two primary approaches to marketing. You really need to have some kind of marketing to sustain and to grow your business. There are free methods and paid methods, and you can really spend a lot on paid methods. Generally, you'll use a platform that supports placing ads like Facebook, Google, X.com, all of the online social media platforms. So the advertising budget, if you go the paid route, you have to figure out what the budget's going to be to get leads for what you're selling. Leads are inquiries people make into your business to buy something. You have to convert the leads after you get the leads. That's not the job of the marketing budget, though. The marketing budget, if you're spending a lot of money for marketing, is to get leads. And you always have this lingering doubt as to whether or not the money you're spending is worth it. Because ad budgets, it depends on where your business is. Sometimes it can be a noticeable part of your revenue, the budget that you're spending, the money you're spending on ads. So let's talk about the paid method. How do you do the paid method? You decide the amount of money you want to spend, usually over the course of a month, for a period of a few months or a year. You look at what you can afford initially, and you set your budget. You then create the ad campaign on the platform, Facebook or Google or whichever platform you decide to use. And then you, after creating the ad campaign, and if you're not sure what this means, it basically means creating the ad campaign means going to that site, logging in and going to the advertising part of the website to actually fill out the fields to place the ad and specify your budget. The ad platform will then spend down your money. They spend down your budget. And there's two issues with having a marketing budget, spending money for. There's two issues that come up. The first one is, and this is very common, everybody who runs ads, digital marketing, who has a budget for that, has a couple of concerns. The first one is there's no accountability on how and if your money is spent, because you're basically feeding money into sort of a black box, and it's not clear. It's hard to verify exactly where your ads are showing up, if they're showing up to the right places that you specified when you created the campaign. And the money the one thing you can tell for sure is the money is dropping down in your budget. You can log in and you can see, okay, I started with $10,000 at the beginning of the month. I'm down to $5,000, and it's not even we're not even halfway through the month. So there's this sort of desire to have some accountability for knowing exactly how the spending down of your budget is actually occurring. I mean, with some really precise detail. And it's not always clear that you can do that. It depends on the platform in terms of being able to determine what's really going on with your ad budget. So there's doubt about how the budget is being spent. The other issue is if you're not getting leads, your ad budget is being spent down by the platform, and maybe you're not getting leads. So those are the two primary issues. One and two, what's really going on with my money, my marketing budget? And two, what if I'm not getting enough leads that I expected I should for this amount of ad spend? So there's one way to solve that issue, or at least to narrow down which of those two issues is the problem. You're either not getting leads or you're not sure about how the budget is being spent. If you hire a known good digital marketing agency to create your ad campaign for you, then you will be able to determine if the problem is one or two. If you're not getting leads and you've got a really good top shelf marketing digital marketing agency, and you're still not getting leads, then obviously it could be the economy, it could be your product mix. But you sort of have to wonder if you've got a $10,000 a month ad budget and you're not getting a lot of leads and you're using a really good digital marketing agency, you sort of have to wonder what might be going on. So it's true that it costs a little extra to hire a digital ad and marketing agency, but at least you know for sure if you're not getting leads that it's not because your ads are the problem. There's something else going on. So what's the likelihood that you do get leads when you have an ad budget? Let's say your ad budget is $10,000 a month, and you say, I'm going to run 10,000 a month for 6 months. I personally have done this. So it can be frustrating to watch your ad budget being drawn down and wonder about the leads you're getting. So what is the likelihood you get leads? Okay, so there's several things here. Are you selling a want, a candy or something, or gifts, gifts people give to people on holidays, or are you selling needs, like things that people use on a daily basis? Soap, toothpaste, paper towels, deodorant, Band-Aids, maybe some food items, vitamins. There's a lot of things you can sell that are sort of needs and they're not wants. So, and also you might be selling a product or a service. So trying to figure out if you're going to get leads, it's going to sort of hinge on whether or not you're selling a need or a want. If the economy is soft, everyone knows this, a lot of people go into this, we're back in college days mode of we're only buying essentials. When we're in college, we tend to conserve money. I got down to 145 pounds in college. I was 5'10" then, I'm 5'10" now. I got down to 145 pounds in college. I knew I wanted to get into grad school, so I was more focused on doing well in my studies. And my wife and I only bought essentials because we didn't have a lot of money either. We're focused on school. We didn't have any money because we weren't working. We were trying to get good grades, graduate school. And so if the economy is soft, we're only buying essentials is a very common thing that happens. And so in the last 2 or 3 years, we've all kind of been through that where the economy has been soft, right? So if you want to think about that for a second, over the last 2 or 3 years, the economy's been soft. We're talking about the effectiveness of marketing, the likelihood of getting leads. If you've run ads in the past 2 to 3 years, the difference between want and need. Because let's say your business has been around for 10 years. During the good days when interest rates were low and people had a lot of money and there was a lot of economic activity, it was much easier to sell things that were not needs, that were wants. As soon as the economy started getting soft 2 or 3 years ago, bam, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people stopped buying anything unless it's absolutely essential. Inflation didn't help, right? Inflation made everything more expensive. So do you get leads for 1 or 2 when the economy is soft? 2. And in a couple of videos I posted on my channel, I talk about the best kind of business to operate, and I mentioned this. If you're selling a need that's a product or a service, that's much better than a want, because you're less at risk of the soft economy making people stop buying what you're selling, product or service. So if you've run ads in the past 2 to 3 years, you know what the difference is. Things started slowing down. If you had needs, though, not so much. You kept selling. So in a soft economy, if you sell a need, it is worth the ad budget. In other words, if you're grappling with what should I do with my ad budget, the economy is soft, I'm not selling a need, you have to think hard about spending that money. But if you're selling a need, either a product or service, even if the economy is soft, it's worth it to have the ad budget to keep the sales coming in. So wants versus needs. I tend to prefer needs in the stuff that I do. I've done wants in my past too, and I'm telling you, I prefer needs. I'd much rather sell a need than a want. I've done sales. I've done inside sales. I've done outside sales. It is much easier to sell a need because there are people who they just can't not have it. They can't stop buying a need. They have to have it. It's much easier from a sales perspective too to be selling a need. So there's 2 marketing approaches, 2 common marketing approaches. There's a short-term sales boosting approach. You hire a digital ad marketing agency and you select an ad budget, $10,000 a month or whatever, and you generate some short-term sales. The second approach is a long-term free approach. You're not spending any money. You're just doing relentless posting on social media to build trust and awareness, to get out of obscurity. Because if nobody knows your company exists, you can improve your situation by, over time, developing an awareness of your company by relentless posting on social media. So that's a pretty big subject area, how to post successfully on social media. But I want to say one thing about that, because AI has has become popular. If there are services out there that use automatic posting with AI to post on social media, I do not recommend using those. it's very easy to know if someone is using one of those automated services. I'm not going to explain what the signs are because the companies that sell automated posting, you can set a schedule. I want to post X number of posts a day at this time interval. Those companies, as soon as they discover how people can tell that there's no live person there, they tweak the code so that they're harder to distinguish from a real person. If you are on a social media platform interacting with someone you think is a live person and you discover that it's one of these automated systems, you just abandon that user permanently. A lot of people just say, wait a minute, I'm interacting with a machine here. There's no live person. This person was too lazy to do their own posting, and it creates abandonment of that person. So I don't recommend, if you're going to do relentless posting on social media, do not use those automated systems. You need a live person there because it's easy to detect the difference between a computer and a person. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, but the long-term benefit is you build trust and awareness, and it's free. So those two approaches to marketing, short-term to boost sales, you create an ad budget, you start getting leads, you nurture the leads, you convert the leads into sales for short-term sales boost, you have an ad budget. Then long-term, you're doing relentless posting on social media. Those are kind of the two approaches to marketing. And it's kind of hard to get around the lack of accountability on the platforms, on the advertising platforms. But that being said, when you're selling a need and we have a decent economy, for sure, with certainty, that the ad budget, the $10,000 a month you're spending is worth it. Because when the economy starts picking up, and it will over time here, we're going to start getting back to a more normal economy. And you'll know for a fact that having your ad budget and placing ads is worthwhile for your business. If you only rely on long-term free social media posting, that's kind of a really slow grind. So I'm not sure if I would recommend it. I'd recommend mixing up the two. If you're selling a want in a soft economy, some soul searching is probably required there because you'll probably know from the past 2 or 3 years if you were selling a want and not a need. When the economy started going soft and inflation was high, you really had to fight with yourself to keep spending on the ad budget. So if you have any questions about any of this, I've got experience doing this. You can post in the comments. I'll try to answer your questions. And I really want to thank everyone for watching, and have a great day.